Oh, hello, beautiful people of the internet. It's Silksong. We're back. We played some yesterday, and as you can see on the descriptor in the bottom left, we made our way to putrefied ducks, like putrefied geese, like putrefied waterfowl. Putrefied... what's another word for duck other than waterfowl? I don't really know. Long story short, I think we're probably done with this area. We have, we picked up a couple new things yesterday, including Materium, which should go inside of our home. We picked up a piece of craft metal. We picked up a couple new tools, including the Volt Vessels and the Wreath of Purity. It's a little fucking late for that, but we've got it. We also got Long Claw at some point, maybe yesterday, maybe not. We completed finding Jubilana and turning things into the Huntress. That's how we got Long Claw, was turning things into the Huntress. So yeah, Putrefied Ducks is done. And at least in my mind it is. There's still something right here, which is a little interesting. The Pale Lake doesn't feel done, but I guess it's done. I don't know. Which leaves us with some options on what to do next. Shakra and her master have headed into... Shakra is searching for her master, who is in Biowater. I think this would be a lot of fun. I don't know that I'm emotionally prepared to do this because... It's sort of like that period in a relationship where you don't yet have the energy to tackle breaking up or taking things, or on a less negative note, taking things to the next, escalating them to the next logical step, moving in or getting married, like, or whatever your step is. I'm tempted by the stasis here. As long as I don't do this quest, it's possible I could see Shakra around the next bend. It's possible I could see... And maybe I could do the quest and then I could still see Shakra, but I do think learning more about Shakra and her master means progressing Shakra's story and potentially ending Shakra's story. I don't think the fear of it being over is a good reason not to do it, and so I'm sort of talking myself into getting back to Biowater. Other than that, I'm very tempted by Cogwork Core and the melodies and the big things that we have left. I think that's kind of basically all we have left in terms of... I think we're probably pretty near the end of Act 2, is what I'm trying to say. So let's get started. Let's do it. I think maybe we just head to Bile Haven and then to Biowater. I think it kind of makes sense. Do I want to take... I think I want to probably just travel down... rather than going to here and then traveling north. Hi, Jab. How's it going? Hi, Tub. How you guys doing? Meeting your crush's master is a big step in advancing your relationship. What's the real-world equivalent of your crush's master? Like their parents? Just get me out of here. I don't even want to see you guys. Their boss? Meaning your crush's boss, it's probably their boss, is actually a pretty big... That is a pretty big step. The first time you introduce your partner to your boss, that's like a... That's a big deal. Depending on what kind of job they work. Hi, Duber, how's it going? Here for 20 minutes before I go bowling for a field trip. Oh, yeah. Bowling. Bowling. Meeting your future mother-in-law. I didn't mean to do that. Back to Biowater. God damn it. Don't act so excited. At least we have the Wreath of Purity on. Back to Biowater. I still think the music right here is Evanescence coded. Do people meet each other's bosses? Chad, if you're in a long-term relationship right now... No. If you have ever met one of your... I found a way to ask the question that will give me more of the answer that I want. If you have ever met one of your partner's bosses, Type Y in chat. If you've never met one of your partner's bosses at any point in the past, type in chat. I'm a Y. I'm a Y. I've met a number of Meg's bosses in the past. And frankly, you know, I met bosses of other people back in the day. You could have a work party, like a Christmas party. You could have a work party. You can also meet them out in, you know, out in the wild. I met Megan's boss at the zoo once. Why, technically? That's a lot of ins in chat, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't realize that would be such a rare thing. Ah, you little shit. All right, we're looking for rings. God, remember this area? I do. I met my wife's boss, but she's never met mine. I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of factors here. Do they work close to home? Do they not? Do they work online? Do they work... I see rings. Track. Up here? Is this a new area? What the fuck is this? There's more to biowater. Oh, no. Oh, no. I went to the wedding reception of my high school boyfriend's boss as his +1. You went with your high school boyfriend's boss? You were the +1 to your high school boyfriend's boss? No, no, no. Sorry. You meant your high school boyfriend. I was like, damn. That's fucked up. Actually, this raises an interesting question. If you are currently married, did you have coworkers at your wedding? Or if you're currently divorced, that's fine too. It doesn't matter if your marriage lasted. If you invited coworkers to your wedding. I did invite coworkers to my wedding. Megan invited coworkers to her wedding, which was also my wedding, it turns out. Ooh, coworkers at wedding. Why? Pineapple, how many jobs have you had? How old are you? Ooh, coworkers at wedding. Why? Yeah, you're right. There's no reason to ever invite coworkers to anything. 23, 3 jobs. You're right. At 23, you never mind. You're right. At 23, you've got it right. Let's approach the world from your perspective here. Why would you ever see your coworkers at anything other than work? You're right. I went to a coworker's wedding. I'm inviting a few past coworkers. I'll invite some. There's a difference between coworkers and friends there's a difference between coworkers and friends who started as coworkers. That's a good distinction. Oh, pure water. I thought it was going to be maggots. I'm really nervous. Can you guys tell? I'm freaking nervous. I got to make a good impression. It's bad. It's bad. Here's a related question. Do you ever text any, or are you in contact with any ex-coworkers? I guess is a related question. Here's my thought. I mean, if you work any sort of job, like of any variety, you're going to spend somewhere between 10 and 90 hours a week with those people. I think there's just a decent chance that some of them you'll become friendly with and or friends with. I think that's the why. I think that's, and I don't think that's a particularly shocking thing to have happen either. My best friends are old coworkers. None of my best friends are old coworkers. I am, and frankly, I'm not like close friends with any ex-coworkers. But I would say decent friends with a couple old coworkers. So we're underneath the Pale Lake. This is really cool. I was just last episode wondering why the Pale Lake existed if nothing was happening. We're below it right now. This is crazy. This is lucky. This is very lucky that this worked out this way. we've done it. We've done it. We've done it. Hello? Okay, we have to give up on the coworker talk. Pashanka, Hornet's wielding needle. For that is your name, is it not? I have heard it spoken in this land with reverence. Chat, front seat question. Is this the first time she has called me Hornet? Yes or no? It's got to be. My expectation is that this is yes. I think every single other time she has called me child-wielding needle, right? Front seat question, is it child-wielding needle every other time? I just want to make sure I'm understanding the sentence on screen correctly. Pashanka, Hornet-wielding needle. That is your name, is it not? I have heard it spoken in this land with reverence. I'm very nervous about where this is going. I think it could be nothing, but I'm nervous about where it's going. I had hoped you would accept my summons. In these moments, 1 is good, but 2 is best. I mean, are we dating? Are you looking for like a night out on the town? I can give that to you. 2 is best for that. I would not deny the wish, Shakra. A somber ceremony seemed likely at this trail's end, and I am sadly proved correct. This, then, is your master. The fiercest of my tribe, here she lies. I called her master true, but she was mother just as much, more by far than the bug who bore me. Aw. Among the many marvels of this kingdom, she found a fine place to meet her end. Yeah. Ended by age. My tribe would call that shame, but I see only strength unbeaten. Why do I feel like this is going to end with Shakra and I fighting? Even as her shell betrayed her, she walked this kingdom's breadth. It was her trail followed that allowed me to share witness to its dignity. Hornet-wielding needle, you too have journeyed these many paths, as my master before us. Join me now for her song sending. It is time for her soul to walk beyond her shell. Ushkaro. Oh, man. Wish granted. For sharing this moment, I shall have you accept a gift, one I had believed I would never pass. Is it rings? What is it? You would take these rings and the learnings to make more. Is this a tool? They are built of a clever method devised by my master and will crush hard this kingdom's toughest shell. Use them and she is remembered. My thanks, Shakra. To gain a tool so defined by its owner, I am much grateful. They shall prove a great aid on my own journey. Throwing ring. Oh, no, stay a second. I do love that we got a ring from Shakra. And not just one ring, 17 of them. Let's go. Oh, stay a second, Shakra. A hardened throwing weapon of the warrior Shakra. Blunt force weapon that rebounds between enemies and hard surfaces. This was very interesting. I have a lot of thoughts. I also have a lot of hopes. It's my hope that maybe Shakra has just... So Shakra's going through a moment, right? She has just lost her master, like her mother, like her parent, and also shed the weapon that is her identity in some ways, right? I think it's very possible that Shakra's story sort of ends here. I think that would be one possibility. It is not my hope. It is possible that we have sort of seen the end of Shakra's story. That said, I think there's also a lot of potential from a story, from a character perspective right now, to let us see a new transformed Shakra. Grief is transformational. It's one of the more transformational things that can happen. And she's also shed her ring. I still am going to hold out hope for a Shakra that we may fight, or at least get to see more of, with a new set of tools or weapons. And if not, maybe if you still have the rings, that would be cool too. But to me, I read that as like Shakra is laying them down, not just... not just also giving them to me. Rhetorical questions, by the way, these are. Absolutely. I like that we have a new needle in song here. Chat, front seat question. What's... Front seat question, yes or no. Did Shakra tell me the name of this person? Yes or no? Damn, she said Pashanka, I think, which I think is just her way of saying, like, greetings or, like, something like that. Damn. Okay. I'd love to know more about this person. But instead, I think that's it. But again, I'd only like to know more about that person in that it would let me know more about Shakra. Because Shakra is the thing we care about. Look at the her mentor's weapons, by the way. She to the very end was killing bugs here. You know what I'm saying? To the very end, she was slaying bugs. Balls, can I get an exclamation watch down? I tried to bait you guys to say balls. Wow. That leaves us with... Ouch. No miniature quests right now. Really, Ryan, you want my watch time? I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to flex. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. $8.99. Hornet wielding needle. It's so interesting. It's such a good move to let Shakra learn your name via your workings through Pharloom. She knows who we are now just because she's heard it through the... I need to go right here. Shit. She's heard it through the grapevine. Is it right here? It's right here. Hello. I do not want to fight you. In fact, I really don't want to fight you. You fucker. You fucker. I want to use you as transportation. Wait, is this wrong? Wait, shit. This is wrong. Right here. All right, we're going to get back up to the bell station and the bellway, and then the plan is to... The plan is probably, honestly, to go back to our house and check out some of the different message boards. I think I was just talking about this in today's Tears of the Kingdom video. I think so. But and I think we've probably talked about this on stream before, but hi Tank, how's it going? I have such a, I don't know that this is a good instinct, but I have such an instinct in my life to save the like best thing for last, quote unquote. Not in every, I think it's Carly and some other people who, when they're eating a meal, will save the best part of the plate for last. I don't do it with food at all, but I definitely do it with video games or like especially exploring an area or completing quests. I think of these as like, these are the main quests for Act 2 is my guess, right? I'll do basically any quests other than these ones until it's clear that I need to do it. Mostly because I think the formative thing for me there is that I don't want to miss content, and so in a game like this, I really don't want to miss content where I'm like soaking up every single possible second. And so getting, taking the opportunity to make sure I have every side quest done, explore every area, is my way of ensuring that happens. I definitely do that with food. I guess the only food I really do it with is burgers. Frying burgers. Frying burgers. What is your go-to eating strategy? What are you eating first? How much of which are you eating first? If you're eating a frying burgers, maybe you won't. Maybe you don't eat that. But if you're eating a frying burgers, burger is last. Fries go bad so fast that burger is last. I'm very similar. We're assembling the materium. Oh. Buckle the fuck up, chat. We got some reading to do. Exclamation, read that in chat. My take is the fries go bad first, but eating a burger on a full stomach is less satisfying. So I tend to eat about half your fries or maybe 2/3 of your fries. Then when you're at the point where like the burger you're gonna be able to enjoy every single bite of the burger, which I would argue is like the prime part of the meal and the part you really want to enjoy, for me at least. Then I will eat the burger. I will either finish it or get pretty close, and then I will be like, okay, now I need some salt and some. Now I need some fries to take me over the top, Fries first, then back and forth between burger and fries till the fries are gone. Then the last few bites of the burger last. So it sounds like burger first is pretty rare. Also, it does depend on fry quality. Fry. Oh, you're saying depends on fry quantity. I was going to say depends on fry quality. If I'm eating McDonald's, I ain't fucking touching the fries until I'm done with the sandwich because I don't like McDonald's fries. Fries in the burger is top tier. I don't know. It's a skill issue. You getting full too fast? All right, gamers, buckle the fuck in. We got some reading to do. I'm looking forward to this. Silk is a fine thread spun from the soul of its creator. Highly coveted for... That's just the most direct explanation of the, like, magic system of this world that we've ever heard. Fine thread spun from the soul of its creator. Highly coveted for its remarkable strength and mystical properties, used to heal wounds, extend life, weave powerful runes. Shell shards are hardened fragments of shell and bone used in the crafting of tools and traps. Rosaries are beads carved from various materials used as a measure of faith, traded as currency. Each is etched with a fine patterned design. How fucked up is it that your faith becomes your currency, right? We haven't explicitly said this yet, I don't think, but if your faith can be measured, if your faith can be hoarded, that sort of that's yikes, right? Yikes. In God we trust. I mean, that's don't take this as a defense, but that's a this is a bastardization of, like, this is, I would argue, a much worse version of that. But that's current event. We don't need to get into it. But I'm saying, if the amount of rosaries you own is the amount of faith you have, like, that'd be a different world we lived in if, like, you went into the church and they were like, well, you have $100 in your pocket, which means that you are somewhat holy today. Try again tomorrow. Anyways, shell rosaries, beads carved from polished shell. Finer material reflects the increased value. Okay, interesting. Shell rosaries are the increased value ones. These ones are the ones I've seen because I really like these. These are pearl. Gleaming pearl carved over with intricate markings, the rarest and most highly valued rosaries in all of Pharloom. I do really love it when one of these drops. Is that different than many churches are today? I would argue a couple things. One, it is different than, I would say, most churches today in some substantial ways, aka saying this is the exact same, saying rosaries that you own in this game are the exact same as many churches in today's world is an unfair and non-generous way to interact with both this game and the real world. And two, I would say, probably not a conversation we have the equipment to get into on stream. I do totally, Nerist, totally. I do think there is a more like medieval what's the word? Analogy to be drawn. But yeah. Tithing is different. And at least in the church that I grew up in. And anyways, I don't think that we can get into it without being ungenerous in a number of different ways. And I'm really, really not interested in streaming in or in like being at the forefront of a conversation that is ungenerous right now and also generally. So while I absolutely will like look very critically at the church in the Citadel in this game, I also will kind of hold my tongue and ask you guys to do the same for like I mean, here's what I really think. The Citadel is more like a mega church. I also don't like that metaphor, and I'm going to shut it down right now. Here's what I think. I don't think we're being thoughtful, fair, nuanced, or generous, which are all things that I really, really hope that we could be, in doing the very easy button pressing of being, and I don't think of doing the very easy button pressing of being like, the Citadel in Silksong equals mega churches in America. I don't think it's fair. I'm not interested in letting an unfair conversation like that start or happen here, despite the many, many, many problems and my very complicated personal history with Christianity and the church. If you want to talk about that, boy, howdy, we need to have a whole nother 6-hour stream, and I don't know that I could get into it all then. From a like fictional here's what I would say from my personal perspective, and if you disagree, that's totally fine. From a personal perspective, I think what we're looking at is more of a... I think what we're looking at in the piece of fiction that is this bug universe made by Team Cherry, I think what we're looking at is parody as in artwork, which is where you exaggerate, where you fully exaggerate, where you put a magnifying glass on some parts of a structure that may have some real world equivalences, but is not a one-to-one. And looking at it as a one-to-one is both cheap and unhelpful. So that's my take. You may disagree with it. I do firmly disagree that rosaries in this game are like a one-to-one for any, at least the ones I'm thinking of, any like, yeah. At least in terms of modern faith. That's where I'm at. I'm going to keep reading now. If you disagree, that's fine. It's not that serious. I'm a Twitch streamer. You could disagree with a Twitch streamer. A Twitch streamer could disagree with you. What I do have to put my foot down is I get wildly uncomfortable having conversations that aren't treating complex situations generously. Yeah, Canafado. That seems much more clear to me. Anyways, I'm going to keep reading. Pilgrim shawl. Simple garment worn by several pilgrims over the ages. Torn, tattered, and repaired many times over. Mossberry stew. Thick, syrupy soup of moss berries and druidic herbs. Sweet and aromatic, but poisonous to most creatures. We have one of these in our inventory right now. Sweet fruit that grows in moist environments. Its seeds are toxic to most creatures. Flint stone, long-burning rock from the base of Pharloom mined and used by the Citadel in its forgings. I thought you were a YouTube man. Yeah. As a simple YouTube man, you have to put simple in there too. I disagree with Ryan all the time. For example, on Pidgey. Flint gem, a gem-like organ taken from a flint beetle, produces incendiary sparks when abraded. Many may explode if cracked or dropped. Craft metal. I'm going to put a flint gem on Shakra and I's wedding ring, by the way. Or Chakra's going to put it on mine. I don't know. Craft metal, rare element found naturally within the rock and bone of Pharloom, used by skilled craftsbugs in the construction of tools and trinkets. A spine core, flexible fiber from within a hoker's spine, can be woven into garments and accessories by a skilled seamstress. I think this is how we got the ability to glide. We had to have some structure to our dress. Our garment. Pale oil, bile gland of a rare Sylphian slug. Talented pinmasters can use the glistening liquid to improve a blade's sharpness. Abraded is a good word, truly. A simple, young, and relevant YouTube man. Exactly. Silver bell, finely forged bell made from a gleaming metal. Horn fragment, hardened chunk of horn shell collected from a defeated savage beastfly. Crown fragment, large spike of bone collected from a defeated skull tyrant. There are a couple things in here that I'm really interested to see what the descriptions are because they may be very useful to us. Right now, we're kind of going through the things we already are pretty familiar with. For instance, the white soul juice thing, the cog heart. I think those are probably going to show up in here. Never mind. Neither one of them is in here. Plasmium, liquid life seed, possessed of remarkable regenerative qualities, substance foreign to Pharloom, introduced by the alchemist Xylotl. Rag pelt, tattered pelt taken from the body of a craw bug, fragile and drab, considered to have few practical uses. Polyp heart, core of a flower formed around the body of a consumed wood wasp, secretes a sticky sap the wasps subsist on. Roach guts, tough and slimy with a rank odor from muck roaches. Unpalatable to most. Vintage nectar, high-quality nectar of a long-lived aphid, kept in storage over many lifetimes to allow complex maturation. I wonder why they do this. I have ideas, but... What I mean by that is that, like, this is like having a bestiary for materials, for raw material. My guess is that the reason they do it is that to help you when you need to track some of them down for miniature quests. Oh my god, there's relics at the bottom too. These are the relics we have. These are the cylinders we have. I guess if they do all this, it's just like all your lore in one place. A bestiary for all the things that aren't bestiary. I totally agree that nuance is very important, but I do feel that religion being one of those topics that is off the table feeds into the ability of some churches / religions to take advantage of people. For on or off the table for stream or for like general conversation? I mean, for stream, the reason religion is sometimes off the table is mostly that it is often current events, which I take off the table. The reason I take current events off the table is mostly because I really struggle to be entertaining for a couple reasons. One, I struggle to be entertaining and to provide a place that can be entertaining when current events is on the table. I really struggle to do it. And I think I don't know. I don't know that that's the right decision, but I don't know that I could stream if I didn't do it. Yeah, and you may have very large disagreements with that, and I totally respect that. That's a whole nother conversation to have. I don't think that... So I don't think, like, comparing the... Like, here's what I would say. Trying to break down or close read what purpose religion in Silksong is doing is totally on the table. Close reading the text, Silksong, comparing that, totally on the table. Doing it in a cheap or ungenerous way is not something I'm interested in doing. I think it'd be really easy to play Silksong and raise a big middle finger and be like, Christianity, am I right? I think that isn't helpful to anyone. I also think it's not fair to the game. I don't think it's unfair. I think it's probably unfair to a lot of Christians, many of whom I have a lot of Christians who I'm very close to. Either practicing in like religion with a capital R or in a more spiritual way. But the like, it's not the religion in Silksong that's off the table. It's the like, I'm going to take what I'm finding here, treat it too simply, and look outward and say, fuck this that's going on. That, I feel like, helps neither our understanding of the game, nor is fair to people, or fair to, like, I don't think it's a beneficial way to arrive at understanding of either the game or the real world. Carly says it's also stressful to be put on the spot to talk about upsetting topics on camera. It's also it's also stressful to be asked to moderate conversations about very stressful topics when you have not been trained to do that. This is why politics is kind of off the table in our Discord. It would be one thing if I could pay people who were trained as moderators to help us through really tough conversations where people's identities and really stressful topics are at the center of them. I can't do that, and the mods didn't sign up for that, and so I can't. It's not something. I'm just not the right place for it. Where I feel, here's how I feel personally. What I do think we can be a place for is thoughtful, nuanced, detailed looks at art like Silksong, which oftentimes has at its heart very political, emotional, very current eventsy type material, like religion in Silksong, absolutely. Like plenty of things in The Last of Us, like plenty of things in X game and Y game and etc. I feel very comfortable personally getting into the weeds in terms of the art. Getting into the weeds of when you do a job that is basically streaming live on camera. Here, to be very clear with you, here's where part of this comes from. I was streaming on January 6th. I had to be on camera as people popped into chat and said, "Can you believe what's happening?" And I did not have a way to do that. I don't know how to be. So this is all on me. I can't be I can't do politics on stream because I had to sit here and be the bouncing board that people popped into chat and said, "Can you believe what's happening?" And I was like, I don't have any details. I also don't have any information. I also don't have any like well-rounded approaches, like responses to that. I'm scared. I don't have it. Like, I can't be all of that for someone. What I can do is narrow in on the things that I know how to do, which is talk about a work of art, talk about where it gets political a little bit, or where it gets, you know, where it gets human. So yeah, I do think your point about religion being off the table, I agree with you. I don't think religion, it would be really silly to play this game and be like, well, I can't talk about religion at all. That would be silly. I feel like you'd be ignoring something at the heart of this game. So point well taken. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the religion in the game. What I don't want to do is then do the live online thing where you say, haha, religion in game, fuck X, or just like Y, and there's no other nuanced or detailed or thoughtful conversation about the connection between our real world and the thing. And so I try to stay where I'm at, which is this. And maybe that's a mistake. Frankly, I worry about that all the time. Maybe that's not... There was a really good conversation in Discord the other day about that we should have at another time, because I can't possibly do it right now because I need to do other things. But there was a really interesting conversation in Discord the other day about Andy Weir and writing books that are quote-unquote not political. And I have very strong feelings about that topic that don't agree with Andy Weir. And that said, I can't run a political live stream. Not because I don't think that does some good in the world. I can't do it as a person, as an individual. My name is Ryan. I can't do it. And so I have to find this other weird line to walk where I don't think we talk about politics, but I'll happily talk about how trans lives matter. Where I don't think we talk about politics, but I'll happily break down the weird gender dynamics in a piece of art. I'll talk about those things, because that's focusing on it's like close reading the text is how I would try and describe it. Anyways, I'm rambling by now, so I'll stop rambling. But a lot of good messages in the chat. I just want to say that. Thanks for typing them. I don't know. Nothing I just said should be taken as gospel with a capital G. I'm just a lonely little scared man. A lonely little scared simple YouTube man. YT man. Who does not know what he's doing and is trying his best, but is probably making mistakes. So, why are we fighting Andy Weir? We simply cannot get into that right now, because I will spend an hour talking about how vehemently I disagree with Andy Weir on one specific quote. We simply cannot get into it because I once again have the tendency to forget about our YouTube audience. I hope you are retented. We will get into it at some point. I think it's and frankly, we'll probably get into it on Saturday at book club. Yeah, but anyways, I'm going to read a couple more entries. Oh, you're right. I am also young and relevant. Yeah. Pile apart. Core of a flower formed around the body of a consumed wood wasp. I read that one already. Roach guts we read already. Rag pelts. Read already. Courier swag. Heavy cloth sack containing tools, trinkets, and medical aids. Queen's egg. Fragile egg containing a young silk eater queen. Queen cannot gather silk itself. With time and care, it could be raised to breed more silk eaters. Hi, Danny. How's it going? I wonder what sort of angles we aren't even thinking of with the team being Australian. It's true. I know very little about Australia's religious history. That too. Very true. Courier's Rasher. Fatty meat of indeterminate origin. Once prepared, it will quickly spoil if not stored properly. Vintage nectar we read. Choir cloak. Garment gifted to pilgrims on admittance to the citadel. Its thick weave offers additional protection against wind and cold. AKA we had to grab it to get the like fur-lined thingy. Steel spines. Heavy machinery. Pierce through the toughest shell. Crust nut. Riley, that's you.
I love silly bug game. It
Speak
makes
of the
me
devil.
happy. I love silly streamer man. He makes me happy. I now happy. Liland heart.
Spoken like a true crust nut. Thank you very much. Pickled muck maggot. Pungent delicacy preserved in roach brine. The most famous creation of the disgraced chef Lugoli. Yeah, disgusting. Seared, shredded, and skewered. We've read all of those recently, and we've read these before, so that's the whole thing. I have a Materium. I have an Encyclopedia. And that's all of that. There's nothing on the thing here. And this, I think, is still just more... Oh my god, 1,100 for a personal spa? They're ripping me off. Bell Lacquer. What do you got to say? We're lucky to have you, Miss Traveler. Bellheart, you're always welcome. You and your big sharp blade. I'm going to go visit the other... I think there's 2 other, right? Kingsley's dreaming. I'm going to visit Bone Bottom and First Shrine to see if there are any other like bulletin board quests before we do anything else. Also, I should probably visit the fleas because we released that big-ass flea last time. I forgot about that. Anyone else been just absolutely fucking paralyzed with uncertainty recently? Just me? No? Our fleas are at Greymore. A giant awoo? A giant awoo. Oh boy. Hashtag relatable. I think that's part of why the last week has been so much fun for me. Like, I felt... I feel like running in particular does something for me that... Are fleas right here? No, fleas are... Where the fuck are the fleas? Fleas are left of here more. Fleas are left just outside of Bellheart. So I should have done that. Outside of Bellheart? Yeah, fleas are like right here, I think. No. Where's... Wait. Flea Caravan moved. It should be on the map. Flea Caravan should be on the map. They moved. Are they Citadel-ish? My fleas! They're outside of Grand Gate. Okay. So that's just blasted steps and then over. Okay. I forgot they're on the map. Hi, could you give me some rosaries, please? That's my other name is Uncertain Prince. Your old name. I said blasted steps, right? Ryan, you could be so rich if you could figure out how to manifest / replicate those endorphins you get from running to everybody. I know how to replicate them, Tony. I've got it figured out. I know how to replicate them. Okay, so hear me out. Best endorphins I've ever felt. You go for a trail run. It's uphill for a couple miles, but when you get to the top, there's a place to rest, and you can see like a vista, and oftentimes the sun is setting. So many of the most peaceful, best moments I've had in my life, you know, not like getting married or having a kid, but like the best, you know, the best moments in a like peaceful way have been those kind of moments. Here's the thing. It doesn't hit the same. It doesn't hit the same for me personally. If you just get to the peak, look at the vista, see the sun, but you didn't have the incline before. It doesn't hit the same. That's not to say it isn't good. It's not to say it isn't fine. I think the endorphin formula is pretty well solved. The problem is I can't do it for you. You know? The replicating it part of it is very tough. Oh my god, it's the giant awu. You can't replicate it because the you know, the first part of it is the whole part of it too, you know? Dodeshna, dear one, Dodeshna. Have you returned to use Krat's luxurious spa carriage? I sure haven't. I did not even mean to talk to you. Fuck you. Miss Hornet, wonder at how large our caravan has grown. So bold and boisterous, this gilded chamber can barely contain us all. The many fleas are itching to journey once more to find a space to stretch their wings. But from here, as their leader, I am hesitant to order us so swiftly away. These heights hold too much danger to set forth without a safe goal held clear in mind. What of you, Miss Hornet? Your tasks carry you throughout this kingdom. Have you ever encountered a place appropriate? I have seen a place. Is it Songclave? No. I have seen a place, Flea Master. A cave beyond the Citadel. It's that clear space where I found... Is it where I found the big awu? A cave beyond the Citadel at the edge of some ancient ducks. Is it the Pale Lake? That place may well suit your needs for safety. The trek would be long, but once reached, you will find a sandy shore, free of predators, beside a wide, clear lake. It's as peaceful a place as I've seen throughout these fraught lands. Here I was last stream saying, what is the point of this lake? What is the point? Why is it here? It has to have a reason to be here. I fall into this every time. The reason is an emotional one. The reason is not is an environmental one. The reason is that if the entire Citadel was trying to kill you and there was no respite, there was no place to watch an old mentor die, there was no place to sit on a quiet beach and rest, it would be pointless. It's like that Brennan Lee Mulligan. It's like, okay. Michael Scott, a.k.a. Wayne Gretzky. It's like that Brennan Lee Mulligan short where he talks about the Japanese filmmaker who insisted on, in his film, showing the rain on it's like that. Artifice knows what I'm talking about. You have to see the rain on the peaceful village and not just the fighting for the village. You have to see what they're fighting for. We need our fleas to make it to the lake. I'm glad somebody got the reference, because otherwise I would be here badly explaining a thing that that no one would understand. That's it. It must be. Our destination has been set. Our journey can continue. True friend of fleas you are, Miss Hornet. That place shall welcome us, no doubt. Will you be joining the caravan on this journey? On the one hand, I don't want to go back there. On the other hand, I really want to see you guys happy there. I really want to... Like, I have to see you happy there, and so I might as well travel with you. Uzai says, I was about to ask if you'd ever seen the film he's talking about. Then I realized who I was talking to. Exactly. I have not seen it. Marvelous. We fleas shall be overjoyed to have your company on the road. Our new home is calling. We must travel. I really enjoyed traveling with the fleas. I enjoy it more every time. Gotta go with the awus. So So cozy. Ah, woo. What a beautiful spot you've gifted us, Miss Hornet. Safe apart from the dark and death of the lands beside. A place for fleas to grow smart and strong. Here we shall see our travels end. I'm so nervous, guys. I've been thinking about the question somebody asked last time where they were like, how far in the game are you? Guys, we're like... Everything in me wants to say 50% because I want that to be true. And the answer is probably 90%. Probably 85. We're probably 85% of the way done with this game, and I'm so fucking sad about it. Here we shall see our travels end, for in Pharloom there could be no finer place to settle. I'm glad the location suits, Flea Master. It is a calming thing to know these many fleas may survive. Most bugs of Pharloom seem destined for far bleaker fates. Indeed, a hopeful future awaits, only because of yourself and your efforts. To commemorate our arrival, it would be my pleasure to perform a small service for you. Okay. I've been learning to sew. The little fleas have been gathering materials for me. I thought I could add an extra pocket to your tool pouch to make your travels a little easier. A trifling favor, much less than you deserve, but still I hope it meets to your satisfaction. Tool pouch expanded. We're at 4 out of 4 for capacity, 3 out of 4 for damage. That's amazing. That's amazing. Miss Hornet, I must tell, we've seen evidence nearby of a hunter of our tribe. A flea that seeks fleas. As pungent and gruff as their sort often are, they're still useful to have around a caravan. A flea of their rare skill settled among us could offer defense and more. If you're still to be helping grow our town, search them out up atop the muck-choked ducks. What? So many lost fleas have made it here. Truly, I'd never dared to hope we could gather such a grand company. Still, there may be more out there in this wide world. What a wonder it would be if they too found their way to our fresh paradise. Chat, did I find the big-a-woo inside of putrefied ducks? Front seat question, yes or no? Big-a-woo. Giant-a-woo? That was Memoriam. That was Memoriam. Because everything was big inside of Memoriam. It was right here. He's saying there's... I don't think of this guy as a flea hunter, but still, he's saying there's a flea... There's a flea that hunts fleas? Ow! I like the noises they make. Okay. Dodeshna, dear one. Dodeshna. No, I'm still good. God damn it, they want me to stay in the ducks for a while. I've kind of been avoiding writing stuff down on my to-do list. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. It's fine, we have the thing. My to-do list is kind of fucked because it's too many pages long. But I'm going to write down find hunter flea in P ducks. Putrefied ducks. Does Ryan know who Blade is? I have heard of Blade, but I don't know anything about Blade, honestly. I don't know shit about Blade. I don't know what Blade is. Blade's a movie? The to-do list can only be too big or too small, never the right size. No, I jumped too high. Fuck you, fuck you. That was the wrong button. That worked, though. atop the mucks, atop the muck of the ducks. This is the shortcut. Atop the muck of the ducks. But I wonder if it's... I wonder if there's a secret behind one of these guys. Maybe the flea doesn't appear until you get the flea caravan here. Please die, please die. Please die. You're so annoying to kill. I met somebody already? Will you die? That worked. Tama. Are we stuck in a time loop? Yeah. I'm gonna die. Ah, fuck. I'm gonna die out here. I have no health. Sorry, guys. I'm just sitting here trying to think through my memory of this place. I mean, there's this guy. Is it this guy? It's probably just that guy. It's probably just the one thing in this area that I haven't solved yet. That's got to be it, right? I need some health. It's probably just the one thing in this area I haven't solved yet. Which, to get to this guy, I think we have to go here. Aye, forgot that you're fucking huge, brother. You're an excellent source of silk, though. Oh, no. Ah! Haven't you repressed every memory of this place? I probably should have. You're still here. What the fuck is the deal here, man? We've done all this. That guy up there. I've hit this guy so many times. My thought is the same as it always was. Can I approach this from the other end? From above? I don't know. This is the huntress who should not be... First off, she's not a top. Second off, she's not a flea or a flea. How you doing over here? Huntress is the same as always. Okay, we're just going to go to the top of this area. And see if there's anything new at the top of Biowater. I think it's right here and then up. How did we establish the Huntress isn't a top? Isn't a top? I feel like the Huntress is probably a top. I don't know. Maybe, you tell me, but my guess would be yes. That's what you said? Oh, I thought I said she wasn't a flea. My bad, my bad. I meant that she wasn't a flea. Ryan doesn't listen to himself? You should try streaming. It's tough. You have to both be thinking and talking at the same time, and a lot of times that means I say the wrong thing. You guys got any fucking fleas over here? I can't even think without talking. Yee. There's nothing that I missed over here. I don't understand. I can't see anything that I missed. I have a feeling we're getting to the point. Eventually, I think this is going to happen, where I'm actually going to have some sort of questions for people about okay, so let's talk about it real quick because shit, never mind. I got to end the episode. I forgot that I didn't end the episode. Bye, YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm a little confused about what the Flea Master means, but I'm going to figure it out eventually. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. See ya.